Hi, this is Sive Morten with the daily update on EuroFX. I post my exclusive market overviews with the key political and economical events, charts and important levels on the ForexPeaceArmy.com forums weekly. This short video is a response to rapidly changing situation on the currency markets and should help you to stay on top of the game and be profitable. I suggest you to visit ForexPeaceArmy.com forum and read my analysis for the week before watching this daily video.
Welcome everybody, guys. Let's take a look at the euro currency after the Jerome Powell statement. So it was a bit dramatic action, and in general you could understand why I try to stay aside from these events, why I'm not trading, because that is the factors that you can't control, and in fact you have to bet on the possible result, so the gamble on the possible result, and I feel uncomfortable with the trading this way. But at the same time, you could see that following the tactics of the using stop entry orders have shown its efficiency, and indeed if you have followed it and placed one cancel other orders or just some orders in one or other direction, you should not get the negative result on yesterday's session, as on the euro currency, as on the gold market. But currently we're mostly interested with how to interpret this recent statement of the Jerome Powell. And our today's weekly report mostly is dedicated to this question. So what conclusion we could make on this Fed behavior? Whether it's some kind of the real dovish cycle for the struggling against the coming recession, or this is something else. And the conclusion that we have come to really gives us a special, unique understanding of the current situation. We think that this is the only way how it is possible to treat this overall situation right now. So if you are interested with that, it's better to read the weekly report, at least the fundamental part, because you will better understand. So it's difficult to put it in the video and show the video. From the technical point of view, this strategy that we have recognized and that we think that stands as a background of the Fed behavior leads us to the conclusion that the major downside trend on the United States dollar should hold. So market should continue downward action, but the pullbacks, the deep retracements on the euro chart, the rising volatility probably will happen. This is just because of the coming from time to time rate cuts. And that increased the temporal short-term pullbacks, as we see right now, and the last time it has happened. But for example, as you can see here, a lot of pullbacks have happened, but the July stands in the downward action. In general, this year price behavior on the euro shows the bearish action, despite the rate cuts, talks about the China tariffs that should make negative impact on the economy. A lot of Russian probes in the politics. Problems of the Donald Trump in the domestic politics sphere. So all this stuff haven't made the negative impact on the United States dollar, and still shows the positive performance in the United States dollar in this year. And we think that this tendency will continue. But understanding of that is that from time to time really significant pullbacks could happen. It really adds something new to our long-term scenario. It means that these pullbacks, if we will see it, mostly they will stand probably on the weekly chart. We should consider it as the good chance for taking the short position on the euro. That's what about the longer-term view on the market. In the shorter-term perspective, we will try to play the recent Fed bullish impulse that we have on the euro currency. But at the same time, we will consider two possible scenarios. The first scenario is based on the sentiment that was put by the Fed. This is relatively diverse sentiment because Fed actually indirectly has confirmed that will be rate cut definitely in September, and maybe another rate cut till the end of the year. So currently it's still 50-50 whether it will be in October or December. But anyway, market right now priced in approximately 65-70% that will happen till the end of the year. Well, taking into consideration, we think that could lead to some deeper upward bounce on the euro. And this bounce has started yesterday, but this reversal candle, so take a look at market, has formed bullish reversal session. So market creates the new lows and then close above the previous candle. Actually, it has engulfed the price action almost for 2 weeks. So this upward action. So it means that until these lows are valid, market holds above it, it could consider, based on this recent momentum, some upward continuation. We do not know whether this will be just a 618 extension or it will be AB equals city target, but currently we hope that probably this will be AB equals city, and we will consider first this scenario. In this case, it means that we should try and take the long position on minor retracement of this most recent swing against these lows, with the potential target somewhere around 1265, 1270. This will be 618 resistance, AB city target. This will create the agreement with this level, and take a look. This will be weekly pivot resistance 1. So all the stuff stands in the same area. Potentially, that will provide us also chance to go short, depending what will happen at this point, because we will get garbage cheaper to sell. But this is already next story. Currently, we are focused on this bar probable action. That's the first scenario to consider. Second is the opposite scenario. In the case, if market will not be able to continue upward action, turns down somehow, and will take it out of these lows. So actually, this price action that we see here, this upward action and downward action, this is former bearish engulfing on the weekly chart that we have. And currently, although the chances are not really significant, but still, it could be just a retracement inside the body of this pattern, which could lead to AB equals city to the downside, and potentially that could be the butterfly to the downside if market will not able to hold the pace, will shows the weakness and starts dropping, taking out of these lows. So inability of the market to continue upward action in this AB city automatically will open road to the downside to our former 109.65 target. So we talked about it. That's two scenarios that we will consider. But second scenario, taking into consideration recent momentum and sentiment that was put by the Fed statement and recent Donald Trump announcement of the another rate hike, tariff hike against the Chinese export, keeps not really significant room for a second scenario in coming week. So our primary scenario will be the upward action. So how we will try to do this? On the 4-hour time frame chart, you could see the first target that could be reached with this trade. This is COP extension is 1190 approximately. It stands right here, based on this ABCD pattern. So our first trade, trying to catch minor retracement here of this most recent swing up, with the target somewhere around 111.90. This will be first trade that we'll keep an eye on the next week. On the hourly chart, we need to consider supports of this recent upward action. And personally, I like the area between the 111, 111.14, because this will be first fib level, this will be weekly pivot point, and take a look at this recent consolidation support. This area, natural support area. And also take a look at this trend line. It coincides actually with a 50% fib level that is not shown here. It means that the area between this point and this, it's a proper area where the market could reach, and taking into consideration the strong rally that we've got, so we should not be very deep retracement. Market is not at the very bottom on the daily, and retracement probably should be moderate, 30%, it's quite enough for taking a position. So that's the area that we will keep an eye on for a possible long entry on the daily chart on the EUR. And after that, we will see how market will play it. If market will show its performance, show its strength, well, very nice. We will keep an eye on the targets to the upside action. If not, we will turn to opposite scenario with the downward continuation. But I suppose that taking into consideration this recent really momentum, it's thrust, COP target should be reached. I'm not sure about the OP, we will see, but COP really has good chance to be reached, especially take a look. COP coincides with this consolidation. It shows the lower border of this consolidation. So this will be natural resistance. Market could retest this consolidation. So this will work as a magnet as well. And I think that 111.90, 112 area probably has a good chance to be reached on the coming week. So that's the first setup that we will keep an eye on the beginning of the next week.